difficulty, there is no result.
Brilliant entrepreneurs,
I work a lot with mentors. I have mentors.
financial advisors,
You buy shares in the circle and you're able to earn dividends from the circle.
business development partners.
One of the things that businesses go wrong on social media is they go in trying to sell.
The international community,
all around the world then there are all these barriers to finance. Not everybody has a bank account, not everybody has identity.
arts, music, sports, culture.
We don't need to get back to normal. This is an opportunity to us to relook at our society and how everything is done.
And for the first time, government and various government institutions.
We have brought all the SME in manufacturing.
Yes.
And we advocate on their behalf.
Welcome to Biz Talks Season 2 with MC. Right, now a very warm welcome to Biz Talks. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. The sun today looked like those composition days of a big ball of fire. You know, I was looking at it and I said, oh, I remember those composition days. How are you doing? Where are you watching us from? Karibu sana. First of all, apologies. We've started a bit late and a bit of technical issues here and there, but we are here. And I hope you've been patient enough to listen to this. And if you are watching us on Facebook, I would want you to quickly click on that share button. Why? The conversation we're about to have is going to change some people. How? Because it is another alternative of investing. And today we're talking about investing in real estate investment funds. People call them REITs. And maybe you have heard of them sometimes and you wonder what that they. We're going to break down from investments 101, get to the terms and all those kind of things. And in the house is Njeri Ndirangu, and I'll tell you who she is. She's the General Manager, Retail Investments, Acorn Investment Management Limited. Have you heard of Acorn, by the way? These guys were doing very nice buildings, looking super good at, for students' housing. Those are the guys. And there's a way maybe you could invest on that, but we'll get to learn. First of all, remember, tell me where you're watching us from. And of course, definitely we want to welcome our guest by warming her up with a cup of tea. Hi, Njeri, how are you doing?
Hi, Maina, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, I know I told you to peep and see what you're going to take. What did you choose to take?
I'd like the masala.
Masala.
Yes.
Please take it out. I want to pour. Are you going to take it with the milk or water?
Water, please.
Water, please. Huh? All right, if you can bring it, let me just bring it closer so that I can pour something. So remember to share this out. Tell somebody somewhere to get into the conversation. There are many ways they could learn how to invest in this matters real estate. Wow. So, there's a lot of constructions going up and down. I'm sure anytime you see this, then this could be giving you smiles, right? Or am I wrong?
Yes, very true.
Very true, eh? Excellent. So it's good to have you as you're fixing your tea. Let me just alert my viewers that it's always good to keep me company. Let me know where you're watching us from. I'd like to give a shout out to a few people here and there. Then we can proceed on. Now, Njeri, before I start into the conversation, it's always good to let our viewers know in a different way who Njeri is. Sometimes we give just a title. But when people ask, who are you? Who do you say you are?
That's an interesting one. So Njeri is a normal person, first of all, but I'm also a very, everyone tells personality, which is, I wouldn't say bubbly, but it's that personality that I look very serious when you meet me. And once you get to know me, that's when you realize, okay, she's actually just a normal person. I've been in the investment industry for 14 years, and this is in the business development. And with time, I've been able to learn about alternative investments, traditional investments. And right now, what I'm into is what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting conversation because we have a product called Vuca. So it appeals to me because it means I have crossed over from the traditional investments and now I'm in the alternative investment space.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Lovely, lovely. I love that. So that's a good introduction. I can see some people who are already tuned in. Thanks, Ken. He's in CBD and he says, we are getting you clear. Thanks a lot. Carlos is watching from Gilgil. Thanks a lot. So wherever you are, let us know where you're watching us from. It's always awesome to know that you have company. Now, I would like to start from the basics, if I may call them that, because people sometimes wonder, what are these things? What are these real estate investment trusts? Some of them call them funds. I don't know what's the difference, but you'll help us understand. But let's start from the basics. What are they?
A real estate investment trust, in simple terms, is what I would say is the mutual funds or the unit trust of real estate.
Okay.
Now, if you've ever heard of unit trust, here I'm talking about something like a money market fund.
Yeah.
So it's the money market fund for real estate.
Yeah.
Or to put it in simpler terms,
Yeah.
the Chama for real estate.
Okay.
Because
I like that.
a real estate investment trust is a collective investment scheme
Okay.
where investors pull their funds together. So
Yeah.
myself, maybe I have 10,000, Mina has 5,000, another person has 10 million.
Yeah.
We pull our funds together
Yeah.
and we invest in a vehicle that is going to either invest in a development of a property
Yeah.
or into an income generating property.
Okay.
So here I'm even now delving into the two types of rates that
Yeah.
are in Kenya, available in Kenya.
Okay.
And when I'm talking about a development real estate investment trust or a D rate,
Yeah.
a D rate participates in just the development stage.
So D stands for development.
Development, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So here the investor walks through that whole journey of acquiring the land. You're investing in that whole process. That is land acquisition, getting those approvals, if it's from NCC, from NMS, from NCA, all these authorities, and then to the actual construction.
Yeah.
And then after construction, you know, there's what we call stabilization.
Yeah.
Because now you've put up the building, you're looking for tenants. So as you look for tenants, it's called the stabilization stage. Now, this whole process takes about 4 to 5 years. Considering construction normally takes 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're investing for that period in a development rate.
Okay.
The returns in a development rate are slightly higher because also the risk is there. That carry risk in terms of a delay of a project.
Yeah.
Maybe some approvals have not been done.
Yeah.
And I think like recently NMS said some construction should stop around Kilimani area. So anyone who was constructing had to stop until
Yeah.
that issue sorted out.
Okay.
So any investor who gets into it is actually going through that journey. A D rate is normally offered to institutional investors
All right.
and not to individual investors.
Okay.
Now let's come to the I rate.
Yeah.
The I rate is an income rate.
Okay.
Remember we said it's a collective investment scheme
Yeah.
where we're having people coming in together. But the differentiating factor is that income rate only invest in an income generating property. Now in our case in Acorn, the income rate invest in the Kwetu student residence.
Okay.
And if you've seen...
Those are now the beautiful structures I was talking about. Yes. I'm
Yes.
sure some people
If-
have come across those nice
Yeah,
buildings.
yeah.
Yes.
And they're strategically placed all over Nairobi. We have Ruaraka, Jogoo Road, we have Parklands, we have Hurlingham, which is our nearest baby.
Yeah.
We have USIU. And we also recently just did the groundbreaking for Chiromo.
Yeah.
So if you're investing in the income rate, you're actually investing in these properties that already have students occupying the properties and they're paying
Yeah.
rent.
Okay.
Okay.
Lovely.
Now that brings me down to, so you've invested and how do you get your return? So number one, for the income rate, the return is normally paid at a stipulated time. So you get that regular income.
Yeah.
Some rates pay every quarterly, some pay biannually, say every 6 months through dividends.
Okay.
So a dividend is paid. That dividend is derived from the rental income that is gotten from these particular properties.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go down to the basics. The D rate, you invest in the development stages
Yes.
from the word go all the way up. And the I rate is purely on the
Income generating.
income generating that is coming from those particular
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
So definitely the question then will be for someone who's watching, which one is advisable to get into first, or how does someone choose which one to get into?
Okay.
Yeah.
For a D rate, like I mentioned, it's purely for institutions.
Yeah.
So an institution, say a SACCO, a pension fund can actually invest in it.
Okay.
A trust fund can invest in it.
Okay.
A corporate organization can invest in it.
Okay. A pension scheme can
yes,
invest in
a
it.
pension scheme can invest in
Okay.
it. Normally for a period of 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Considering it's a whole journey.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're working with the various projects that are being run. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the income rate, we are currently available on the NSE USP platform. That is the NSE Unquoted Securities platform.
Yeah.
And with the income rate, we have a digital platform called Vuca, which is an invite-only
Okay.
club. So a client who wants to invest needs just to get an invite either from an individual investor, someone who's already in it,
Yeah.
or the team at Acorn called the Vuca sales team is able to send you that link. Once you get the link, you kick-start the process. You click on the link, you
Yeah.
kick-start the process, upload your documents. and you get to invest in whichever category you choose.
Okay.
So there are different categories. Say, since it's an investment, we try to come up with categories that are very friendly. And what we say is you can start off with a minimum of 5,000. But category 1, which is called silver, we give a target of 100,000 per annum. So in a year's time, we tell you, okay, you want to start with silver category. This is, you can start with your 5,000, or if you have the 100,000, you can put it in as a lump sum. And you kickstart that particular investment in the income rate.
Okay.
Now, dividends are declared every 6 months. Okay. So once they're declared, you get what you get your allocation according to what you've invested in.
Okay.
Okay.
And I love what you're bringing in, because we always advocate that you need to diversify your portfolio of investments. A lot of the people who watch this particular show are not the kind of people like the pension guys who want to do the D rates. A lot of them will be here interested in the I rate because they just want to see some income coming through. And I love the fact that in 6 months' time, you're already making some announcements on what's the progress of the income that you have already taken from the people. Now, my question would be this: in the I rates, how can, I think we like calling them retail investors, people who are probably very interested as individuals, how can they invest? I think you've explained about an invite only. I would like them to understand more. Someone is watching is like, okay, invite only, who's going to invite me? So how does it work so that I can invest in it?
So like I mentioned, for you to be able to invest in the income rate, especially in Acorn, we have the product called Vuca. So Vuca is our I-rate product. Okay, it's the income rate product. So a retail investor will come in.
So you have to join Vuca first.
You have to join Vuca.
Okay.
And Vuca is the income rate.
Okay, pause there. I'm going to take step by step. So how do I join Vuca?
Now, for you to join Vuca, Vuca is an invite-only investment club.
Okay.
So
what's
if
the qualification so that I can get invited?
So there are two ways. If Njeri has joined, Njeri can invite MC to join.
Oh, so it's more like a referral.
Yes, so it's a referral program.
Okay.
So I send you the link and you join. Now, if you don't know anyone who has joined Vuca, then the Vuca sales team will send you an invite. And we just need your email address. So we have an email address which is vucasales@vuca. You send in your request and we send you the link and you start your investment process.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to have a lot of questions. There's so many things running through my head because I'm also probably interested by the end of this, so I might be in Vuca. So I have gotten a referral, let's assume, and I've joined Vuca. Are there some parameters you have to check of me before you allow me to start investing with you?
Number one, remember this is a platform that is available. So if you're interested, you can type Vuca portal on Google or Chrome. And once you get on the platform, you click that you want to join membership. Now immediately you click, it automatically goes to our contact sales team or the Vuca sales team. And they're the ones who will actually call you or even email you back with the link. Now once you open that link, it will request for your ID and your KRA PIN. Once we verify that, then because it's linked to the IPRS.
It means I'm authentic.
Yes, it means now you're authentic and you can start.
That's a good step so far. Let me ask a question. When did you start Vuca? How long has it been around?
Vuca started in last year, February, when we launched the Acorn D rate and the I rate in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Yes.
Okay, so it's a very nice young baby,
it's
right?
a young baby. It's a young baby.
How many people have already tapped? I don't want the exact number. On average, how many people are already in Vuca?
On average, we get about 50 requests on a day.
What?
Yes. These are 50 requests, like someone says, send me the link. I want to kickstart the process. In terms of membership, currently we've hit about 1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Let's talk about the costs in terms of how much am I supposed to invest in Vuca as a minimum, maybe, and maybe if there's a maximum?
No, number one, there's no maximum. Remember, what you invest is what you're going to earn your dividends from. Okay. Minimum is 5,000. We do not have a maximum. And what we've had is we've built in categories. If you log onto the platform, you'll see there's a silver category, there's a gold category, there's diamond, there's platinum, all the way. So in each and every category, there's a minimum amount that we say is the targeted savings, so the targeted investment amount you should have done. So like for silver, minimum is 100,000 in a year. When you cross over now to gold, gold goes up to 200,000. So it's anyone who wants to invest 100K all the way to 200,000. Yes. The other unique
just sorry, because I want to get this right. So you say there's a silver and there's gold.
Yes.
Is there any other
Silver,
category?
gold, diamond, platinum.
Oh, you're still going up. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry,
Remember,
my silver people. Anyway.
different categories. And you'll find a client who has 5 million to invest in VUCA, so you know which category they'll be placed in, probably Diamond Plus, okay, in Diamond Plus category or Platinum category.
Yeah.
And they get to invest in that particular category. If they have more, then they get to move to the next category.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, you know, my mind thought like the Olympics, so I thought silver, gold, you're done. So you are proceeding on. You're telling me there's platinum and then
silver, gold,
Yes.
diamond, then Diamond Plus, then platinum.
there's diamond plus. Okay. So okay.
Now, when we get to diamond, these are clients who want to invest, say, $1 million and above.
Okay.
Then we have diamond plus, someone wants to invest 2 million and above. Then the rest is someone wants to invest 5 million, all the way to 20, 50 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
One would ask a question. Are you first of all regulated by the CMA?
Yes, VUCA is a regulated product by
Okay.
CMA.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's very important
Yes,
because, you know,
yes.
you never know. The other question then would be this. Okay, I have my 100K. I think I qualify for silver. Let's say that,
Yes.
right? What are the kind of rates in terms of returns?
If you look
Is it a
at
standard or does it go by the market forces? But I would want to hear
what
that.
happens is the return is dependent on the properties that are in the income rate. Currently, we have 3 that are in the income rate.
Yeah.
So the rate of return ranges from 6 to 12%.
Okay.
Again, if you look at 6, that's when you have low properties. Let's say you only have 1 or 2 properties.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at 12, it's when we'll have quite a number of properties,
Okay.
which are already coming into the I rate.
Okay.
And these are the ones that are still in the development stage.
Okay.
The unique bit about the returns in VUCA or in the income rate, it comes in 2 components. So first you have the dividend, which comes from the rental income,
Yeah.
but you also have the capital appreciation, which comes about from the rent escalation and the revaluations of these properties. So your return will be in twofold. You'll have your dividend, but you'll also have your capital appreciation.
Okay.
So if you've invested, say, your 100,000,
Yeah.
you'll earn your dividend, say, of 2,000,
Yeah.
but you'll see at the end of the year, your 100,000 is now 100,000, maybe 100 and maybe 5, or maybe it's 105,000. So the 5,000 has come from the capital appreciation of your investment. Okay. Remember, we have to revaluate these properties every year.
Yeah.
And by the time we're doing the revaluation, this is also distributed to the investors that are already in the fund. So that's the unique component. And we are not saying clients or an investor should only take up VUCA.
Okay.
We are saying you have quite an array. Maybe you've invested in stocks, you've invested in money markets, you have your circle. But what you're saying, it's an entry point for you to get into real estate.
Okay.
Because we know the pain points that people are having. You bought a piece of land, you're trying to look for money to develop it.
You're right.
Again, you either take out a loan, either through the circle, or you save towards building that particular property.
Okay.
But here we're telling you, you can start enjoying those returns, same as a landlord, and you're not looking at the headache of getting tenants. You're not looking at maintaining those properties. You're just going to be earning income, and the property management and the returns is managed by the Acorn team.
Okay.
So we are the ones who actually ensure maintenance of those properties. And there's one thing you said, those properties look beautiful.
Yeah, they
so
do.
it's
They
the
do.
income rate investors that are
Yeah.
maintaining those properties,
Yeah.
ensuring health and safety, that customer experiences in terms of the students that are living there, the standards of living are still maintained.
Wow.
So the income rate investors is contributing towards that, or is investing in that particular aspect of the properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just taking you back a bit more because I'm more concerned about people really tapping into this. So right now, if I can't get a referral, I can just actually still go online,
Yes.
check out on VUCA,
Yes.
send out a message and say,
Yes.
hey, I'm interested.
Yes.
They will reach out to me,
Yes.
right? Excellent. I think I love that. Now, I'm just thinking kawaida, you know? The kawaida way is I'm about to have some good money to buy some land and build my own property. But Njeri is telling me it's going to be a hurdle. Even before you finish up, it's going to be years, you know, or many months. And Njeri is trying to tell me, listen, you can quickly, or even in a quicker pace, start earning from that money and avoid the hassle and bustle.
Yes.
And allow us as Acorn to deal with those things, you know. Idea me a bit more and tell me why I should take a lot of property would be like 5 million, 10 million.
Yes.
I should take that money and bring it to VUCA.
Number one, I'll be looking at it in terms of the cost of setting up.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 5 million, yes, you'll want to purchase the land.
Yeah.
Getting those approvals it's not cheap, getting those approvals. Again, getting your architectural drawing is not that easy.
Yeah.
Looking at occupancy, you definitely have to start looking for tenants.
Yeah.
But there's this bigger problem that we are facing in real estate, liquidity.
Yeah.
Liquidity has been an issue either whether you have land or you have property or you have a building. Right now, if you're trying to sell a building, let's say we're selling this particular building we're in, it won't take you 6 months.
Yeah.
It will not take you 10 days.
Absolutely.
It's going to take you 2 years plus.
Absolutely.
And we've seen you have to involve an agent or a broker who's going to assist you through this. Remember, you have to pay capital gains once you sell off this particular property. When we come to VUCA, number one, it is tax exempted.
Yeah.
Rates are tax exempted.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
That's something you should have said. Everybody wants to feel, where can I save my taxes? Anyway.
Rates are tax exempted. Now, the only bit that is taxed is the dividend, which is final, and this is 5%.
Okay.
Okay? This is on the dividend, but the rates are tax exempted. The other bit is the liquidity aspect of the income rates. You can liquidate again through your once you join, there's a whole platform. So if you want to say liquidate, you just place a sale order. Within 5 to 10 days, your funds are credited either to M-Pesa or to your bank.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. So again, I'm saving you that headache.
That headache of trying to whatever.
We've had cases of maybe someone is admitted and you don't have immediate cash to pay, you don't have a medical cover, and you have a building somewhere which is worth, say, 8 million, and say it's your parent that has been admitted. So either you guys contribute, the bill starts growing, you continue contributing, or at some point you surrender the title deed of the property to the hospital. Now, those are pain points because you're not able to sell that land even as this person is in.
You're right.
Or the property or that particular building. So that pain point is what we're trying to advise. You need to start diversifying.
No, I like that because what you're saying is the liquidation process is not going to be as long, right?
Yes.
So if an emergency happens to me and I have this, so it's more like an asset that I've put there that can be easily liquidated.
Exactly.
Well, that's true because, I always argue out with guys who own land and say, no, this is the best way to go and invest. But I ask them, if you want real cash immediately, how soon can you get it, So let me see, what are your questions, guys? Do you have any questions on this particular matter, VUCA or Robert Ochieng watching from Nairobi near Kwetu Hostel? I think he's admiring that. But let me ask, though, I noticed, because I have visited your facilities, I normally see very nice cafeteria. Are people allowed to just walk in? Or is it just for a reserve of students?
Number one, you have to be a student for you to be a resident at Kwetu.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? In terms of walking, for you to actually gain access, you need to be invited by a student.
Yeah.
So you need to give your details beforehand, and it's recorded for you to. But what we've tried to do with this particular hostel is create an environment where students are able to get everything that they need within the same locality. So if it's a restaurant, it's there.
Okay.
They have gaming, they have all these activities that students like to engage in they're already available.
Right.
So there's a small canteen, there's a laundromat, there's a small what we call a small mini market that is there, mini mart that has the essentials that they need to buy on a day-to-day.
All right, fair enough. Let me get to some of the comments. Mike Moneni saying, morning, this is a good product to look at. The returns are better off compared to some insurance policy investments. Without mentioning names, by the way, do you have a comment on that?
Let me just start off by saying an insurance policy is not an investment or a savings plan. You're transferring your risk to an insurance company. So you need to abide by the timeline that they tell you. You need to pay your policy or your premiums. So we normally get cases where someone says, okay, I want to invest, but I also need to gain access to my funds when I need. Is there a penalty when I do that? Because I know with insurance, I need to have paid for a minimum of 3 years for me to even get what is called a surrender value when I have an issue. And if I stop paying, I know that my premiums are gone. Okay? So that's a pain point for some investors. And at that point, you just need to sensitize the person and let them know that insurance is not a saving. You're just transferring your risk. In case something happened to you in month 3, the insurance company would definitely pay out that amount that you had insured yourself in. Again, when it comes to this other side, like we said, diversify. You're coming into a real estate investment trust or an income rate where you're investing, you can access your funds. There are no penalties when you're withdrawing. You just need to say, I need my funds, maybe I'd invested 100K, I need 30,000. We're going to pay you upfront.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Let's talk about the industry because, I think we just coming from a season, crazy season I may call it. The COVID season was just one, and I'm sure I think from what we have had, there's some people who are hit hard, especially in the real estate.
Yes.
I don't know what was your case. I would like to hear how it is on your end, but from where you see it, are we on an upward scale right now, so that at least people can, know that really this is a place to jump in?
Number one, I'd say true. People are hard hit last year. I mean,
Yeah.
since 2020 when COVID started. Now, funny enough, with the Kwetu hostels,
Yeah.
students were still paying rent because number one, remember, it is Wi-Fi enabled. So online classes were ongoing. And remember with students, if I'm going to go home and I'm still having online classes,
Yeah.
if I want to have a discussion and maybe I live in Eldoret
Yeah.
and I'm in main campus, how do I get to meet my peers to discuss?
Yeah.
So we found that students were still continuing to stay at the hostels. So in terms of occupancy levels, it was still maintained.
Okay.
We did not drop below 90 because currently we're at 99 to 95. The lowest we saw during that period was 90% occupancy,
Okay.
which is actually quite good in terms of real estate, in terms of student accommodation. So we were not that affected. The other thing is looking towards the future.
Yeah.
Kwetu hostels are very resilient.
Okay.
And that resilience has been inbuilt in terms of whether going forward it is online classes, we are providing that opportunity in the hostels for
Yeah.
these students to continue.
Yeah.
So we are definitely not seeing that being a con in terms of continuing with this particular development.
Okay.
I can say the hard hit areas were commercial properties and malls. We saw what had happened in case an anchor supermarket tenant maybe pulled out, and that was the person who had anchored all these tenants. So commercial properties were actually affected.
Okay.
Again, looking at office spaces, most people are working from home. So if you are in an office space, you're looking at maybe renegotiating your payments. So rental income definitely dropped, especially in the commercials.
Definitely.
Looking towards the future, there's an opportunity, there's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Even with what we are offering in Acorn in terms of the student accommodation, our demand currently is 400,000 students need accommodation.
Wow.
Acorn is only going to be able to provide 10,000 beds by 2023. So if there are other players that would definitely want to come in, then I mean, the opportunity is there.
Is there?
Opportunity is there.
That's a tip for anyone who's watching. My goodness.
But again, you need to maintain the standards, which at the moment, I think Acorn is number one in the market.
No, there's no doubt about that. I have seen them.
Yes,
If you haven't, sorry, people are not allowed to just see. But anyway, send your student there, they will tell you. So I know, because as I was going around, I was wondering, wow, it was sort of new to the people. Like I went to was it Jogor Road one, which is already full to capacity, because there was a team going there to film something, and they couldn't get an empty room to do that because they wanted to show how the student accommodation is, and we had to be taken elsewhere, and that shocked me. But I think you're solving a need that is there already in the market, because parents want to feel that their kids are in a safe place and they're not just in any random estate where they can't even trace them up. Now, moving on, let me ask you, so what is sort of Acorn looking at? But I think you've already mentioned it because you've said the demand is higher than even what you're already supplying now.
Exactly.
And even by 2023, you've already said you will not have even met the demand.
Exactly.
So is Acorn purely now concentrating on at least ensuring this is what we are building at? We're just doing student accommodation for now. Is that the focus, or are you about to do malls and stuff like that? I'm just asking.
We're not, number one, we're focusing on student accommodation, but also we are looking at what you're calling the young professionals accommodation. Okay? So yes, you've been a student at Kwetu, but what happens after Kwetu? There's this lifestyle you are used to. I was living in an environment where, furniture is provided, Wi-Fi is provided, I have a TV in my room, I have a kitchenette area, I have a lounge.
Yes.
So now you've been employed, and with employment what happens? You start living and you have to buy your furniture or get, what is it called, your kitchen unit, your entertainment unit. So you're going to spend quite an amount for you to get there. And most people start with a mattress and maybe a cooking, what is it called, a meko.
Yeah, that thing.
That's small meko. So you survive as you start saving towards the other things.
Yeah.
So we want to provide an environment where
Yeah.
you come from work, you just enter into your apartment,
Yeah.
and everything is provided.
Okay.
So you have that freedom of living with other young professionals, And now it won't be as strict as what we have in Kwetu
Yeah.
in terms of that controlled environment. Here you're actually on your own. But you're being provided that aspect. So if if the rental will be say 40 or 50,000, you know you're paying 50,000, but you have a bed, you have your small area, you have your kitchenette there, you have your Wi-Fi. So it's just your suits and your clothes that will be coming in.
And you're good to go.
And you're good to go. Yeah.
So, you know, as you were talking, you mentioned some big jargon somewhere. Unquoted securities platform. You know, it's good to break it down. What are those things called USPs? I know the NSE at some point launched USPs, and I have a feeling, I think what we're talking about is under the USPs. So could you kindly elaborate a little bit what they are and why Vuca is under that?
Okay. The Unquoted Security Platform is a platform that was provided by the Nairobi Stock Exchange for private companies that would want to list.
Yes.
Okay, they'd want to list their products, they'd want to list their, the company on this or whatever they're offering to the public. Now, you do not want to do an IPO, you do not want to list because of the cost of listing in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So this is a platform which is available to private companies.
Okay.
And again, it provides an area where investors can come in and also get to participate in the products that are offered in this platform. Currently, it's only Acorn that is on the platform that is offered there. So the D rate and the I rate are offered there. We work with different placement agents that are able to provide this service, especially for the institutional investors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, lovely. I think that's a very good explanation. So that means NSE looks at your books and everything else to ensure that you guys are
they
doing.
do audit. It
Awesome.
also, in terms of capital raising, it's also a less costly area for capital raising for the private companies as opposed to you listing.
Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. So let me see. Please send in your questions on this subject. I hope if you have no questions, then you're investing, right? Already people already writing maybe to Vuca and all those kind of things. So let's talk about people and investing. Let's talk about the diaspora, because we have people sometimes who are watching and not in the country. Can they invest as well?
Yes, Kenyans living in the diaspora can definitely invest. Like I mentioned, we just need your passport and your ID. Your passport and your KRA number. And what we've noticed with a lot of the diaspora guys is maybe they only have the Kenyan passport, they don't have the KRA, so we request them to apply and get the KRA, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Again, for foreigners, as long as you have an alien ID card, you can also invest in Vuca.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely. I'm just looking through some of the comments and questions. Segawa is watching in Uganda. That's why I was asking about guys.
Okay.
So it's important that we also say these kind of things. Winnie Wambui, good insights, absolutely. Shiro Kinothia as well, watching in Nairobi. Leah Elisaba, watching on Gong Road. Thank you guys for all those comments. So what would be your questions that you have on this matter? So let's talk about, again, someone is asking, what again is the minimum investment? Is it part of the silver stage anyway? But please answer them.
At each and every category, please note the minimum to start is 5,000.
Okay.
But like we mentioned, we have different categories. So if you feel in 2022 you're able to save up to 500,000, then automatically you'll start off with the gold category, and you kickstart with whatever you have. If it's 5,000, if it's 10,000, but the minimum is 5,000.
Okay.
But you're allowed to actually invest lump sum if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone is asking how, I think I'm trying to read it well, because how sure are we that our return is guaranteed in 6 months?
Okay, number one, remember Kwetu hostels have been in operation since 2016, so that has been 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Jogoo Road and Ruaraka.
Yeah.
And the rest that are coming on board, like I mentioned, they've already passed the stabilization stage. So in terms of rental income is definitely there.
Okay.
In terms of revaluation of the properties, this is happening every year. So we are not saying, we cannot say guaranteed, but what we're saying is we are pretty sure that we're definitely going to be paying those dividends.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that it's a guarantee.
Okay.
A lot of factors come in, but what I'm trying to say is we are not at a space where we are saying in 2 months maybe 2 hostels will not be available or occupancy will go to 20% in all of them. No, we are not there. That's why I mentioned one thing. The hostels or the student accommodation are very resilient. By resilience, I mean what we've been able to put in place to ensure that if this goes wrong, we have this in place.
Yeah.
Okay. if it's a period where, like in 2020, where there was COVID and schools closed and students were supposed to go back home, we saw students actually advising their parents, let me continue learning here.
Yeah.
It's online, I don't want to come home, I still want to continue staying at the hostels. Okay, so that bit of resilience is that reassurance that you're giving all the investors, that at any one time we'll not tell you that we are not paying a dividend, because we are still earning rental income. In terms of occupancy, you've already mentioned, Jogoo Road is full. If you go to, say, Strathmore, which we call Wilson View, there's a waiting list. In terms of it's full, but we have students still lining up and saying, if there's an opportunity,
let me know.
I want, and they've already paid. Okay, so that resilience is what we are relying upon.
You're right.
Yes,
you're right. Wow. Dixon, you're in Kigali watching as well. Yes, you can invest all the way. Lydia Mutahi, very informative. Thank you so much for those comments. We're about to close this, so if you have any question, you better send it now. But before then, I think one of the things that people would ask is, how is the future looking like for the real estate in itself? From where you sit as Acorn, I'm sure you sit in very informative seats there. You're able to see the future and what is happening, because we are seeing, yes, I mean, these schools are reopening now. It's no longer a lot of these online things that were happening. So definitely that looks like a plus in the investments. And then people would want to know, if I'm investing in this, how is the growth kind of like looking like? So could you paint for us the future of what you are seeing at Acorn, at Vuca, if I may call it that? Yes.
One of the things that you're saying is we are seeing the learning institutions tending to focus more on what their core mandate is.
Yes.
So mine is providing education. I don't want to provide hostels.
You're right.
Okay. So with that in mind,
yes,
opportunities there. Considering now the universities are saying my core is just education. If it's hostels, let's have someone providing that, save us from that headache. And that is why we've seen, if you've looked at how the Kwetu hostels are located, it's just not far away from where the school is. If it's far, we have the Kwetu buses that are taking the students to their area of learning or to their school of learning. So in terms of opportunities, there's a huge opportunity. Now imagine you have the campus there, you have the students there, you also need these other amenities to be closer to them. So anyone who's looking into entering into the real estate space has to also look into it. Remember, like I mentioned, demand right now is 400,000. This demand is growing by 0.5 every year. So in 10 years, we'll have 1.2 students looking at getting accommodated, and Acorn will only have done, I think, 40,000 according to our growth. So still we'll only have scratched the surface and providing that opportunity to anyone else who wants to come on board. Yes.
Well, lovely. Segawa, again, you're saying something here. Honestly, this lady, the lady is impressive. Talking about you, knowledgeable in her field and operation, and infuses confidence in the prospective investors. I love that. Yes.
Thank you.
So he says he's interested in Googling more about the company. Definitely go check it out. So they're just supposed to put on Vuca and that's it?
Yes, you can either go to Acorn Holdings website, or you can just type Vuca portal online, whether you're using Google, Chrome, Yahoo, Bing, it will take you to the site.
There you go. So please go ahead. Flavor is asking is asking, suppose you wish to withdraw your investment in future, is that possible? Please comment on him.
Yes, liquidation is very possible, or withdrawing, or partial or wholly. You can definitely withdraw. Remember, once you become a member, you have the platform and you place your sell order on the platform or your withdrawal request on the platform. It takes 5 to 10 working days for us to pay you to either your M-Pesa or your bank account. And remember, since we are trading on the USP, that is where we are providing, that platform is provided through the NSE USP platform. So we place the buy or sell order through that particular platform. So in terms of liquidation, we will not have an issue. Yes.
So I'm about to close this, but I have something that has just hit me. Every investment is a risk in itself. I mean, there's no investment that hasn't a risk aspect of it. And I know I'm putting you on the spot here because I want you to, and I know you endeared us to invest, but I would want you to speak to someone whose probably risk appetite is so low, they're like, is this a safer place? You know, because we have risk levels that people check it out. Where would you place this particular investment in terms of risk? Is it a safer option to look at, or is it something that anything can happen? I'm just saying.
Okay. Number one, income rates are low risk. because you're actually investing in a tangible asset.
Yeah.
Again, I like talking about factors that you need to look into when investing in such a field. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's something like the income rate, are these properties income generating? What is the occupancy rates?
Yeah.
Like I've mentioned, most of our hostels are fully occupied. There's a whole waiting list, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Again, look at the management across in terms of who is managing these properties, or rather who owns these particular properties. Look at the management team. Are they experienced? Another thing you need to look at is the health and safety factor of this particular. What I can say, the properties.
The properties themselves, yes.
The other thing that you need to look into is the product regulated?
Yeah.
If it's regulated, who is involved in this? Who are their auditors?
Yeah.
Who is doing the valuation bit?
Okay.
When are they audited?
Yeah.
Do we have the regulator physically working through these properties? First of all, do the properties exist? Are they tangible?
Do they exist? Yes.
If it's Kwetu, I'll tell you, by the way, strategically placed. Go to Strathmore, you'll see it.
You'll see it.
Go to Jogoro, go to Parklands, you'll see them.
Yeah.
Okay. So the properties are up there in standing. So in terms of reliability, you have the properties that are there. They're earning you income. So it's a low risk investment.
Okay.
The other bit, if you look at the returns that I mentioned, they're not exaggerated. And we're not telling you to invest off plan. We're telling you to invest in plan. It's already income generating. Yes. So in terms of risk, it's low risk. But in terms of time horizon for you to invest, we recommend medium to long term. Considering the dividend comes every 6 months, please ensure you earn at least 4 dividends before you start withdrawing. So we like telling you, if you want to place money that you will withdraw after 6 months, I'll advise you put in any money market fund with all the other fund managers. Okay. Again, in terms of is my fund safe, we have a custodian, we have a trustee, we have a fund manager. Okay. So the rate manager is Acorn Investments, our trustee is Corp Bank, custodian is NCBA. Okay. So with all this in play, these are the people that put in the checkers in terms of is the fund manager actually ensuring that costs are low so that clients are able to get good returns. So all these factors need to come in when you're looking at what am I actually investing in.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely. I think there's so many things you've said there, because let's be honest, I don't want to name names because I don't want to be sued, but we have seen some people come into the industry, especially a lot of people, you know, when you're driving on the road, you also get people who give you off-plan things. And you're wondering, who regulates this? How sure am I? And you've had people who are already 8 years down the line still waiting to own a home.
True.
So that they always say in a market, you never miss a madman. So we always have some people out there who are really trying to tarnish all these things. I'd like you to part this conversation by telling our viewers, what are these parameters? I know we were talking about Acorn and you've already put down these things, especially the fact that you're regulated and all that. What are these kind of things that you always need to tick out, or red flags to watch before you just jump into with your capital?
Number one would be, what is the return that you're being promised by whoever is offering you an investment plan vis-a-vis what is available in the market? So right now we know treasury bills 1 year at most is giving 9%. If it's the bonds, at most 13%, the infrastructure. And if someone is giving you a low risk investment and they're telling you maybe 15, 16, 18%, then ideally you should be questioning where they're getting.
Where is all this?
Where getting their returns from. Now when it comes to real estate, it's a bit tricky. Because you look at one company which is credible, you think it's credible, but maybe 3-4 years down the line, something happens and it's not what they presented. So it becomes murky waters. Okay. But again, what I normally say is do your own research. If it's a property that is being sold off plan, where is this particular property? How many units have they put up? Have they done phase 1 and now we're going to phase 2 or phase 3? And are you involved in phase 1 or do you want to get involved in phase 2 or 3? They're somewhat very credible. And you just need to know, like I mentioned, look at the management team of a particular company which is offering you these investment opportunities. Because we cannot say they're not regulated. If I want to put up 10 units, I can put up 10 units.
You can.
Okay, you can put up 10 units. But in terms of your due diligence, it's according to you. And we've even seen legal professionals being duped by such offers.
Absolutely.
So it can actually slip through your hands.
Okay. Someone asked a very interesting question. Can one invest in real estate without owning land?
Yes.
Yes, through Vuca, right?
Through Vuca.
Come on board, right? Yeah. Let me see if there's any other question you have not answered. Okay, I think because I'm also sieving through. Some of them have been answered already, and I hope all our viewers have gotten this. There you have it, guys. I want to give her the right to just do a parting shot, and then we can close. I don't see any other question that is quite different from what has been answered. So what will be your parting shot to the people? I want you to look straight at that camera and tell them and endear to them why Vuca is the place to run to.
Number one, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
we are trying to create a new generation of real estate investment. So that financial freedom that will come through Vuca is what we're appealing to investors to come and join in. I know it's a new concept, but we are still doing the financial awareness sessions. So once you get to see if BizTalks is updating, we have other partners that we've partnered in to do the awareness session around March. So get to learn a lot, get to join in this particular insights, webinars, we are offering all this. But what I'll tell you is it's a new concept. In the developed world, rates are a thing that people invest in. Some people put their retirement income in rates because they know it's going to generate income. And in Kenya, we are just taking the baby steps with Acorn. And with Acorn starting the pace, we hope there are other players that are also going to come through.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I can say, there's never a wrong time to start investing. You can always start now. And the power of compounding interest, please. If it comes to Vuca, right now 3 properties are in the income rate. By the time we get to 12 properties, imagine the kind of return we'll be talking about, the regular dividends, the capital appreciation. It won't be exaggerated, but I'll tell you it will be something that will be definitely causing a star in this market.
Wow, that's a powerful ending. I'm already Googling Vuca. I can see Vuca Investment Club. So are you going to refer me?
Definitely, I'll send you the link. I'll ask someone from the team to send you a link.
I can see a very beautiful website already here. We need to Vuca. So are you Vucaing? Please do better. And I think the bottom line is what she has said. Always diversify your investments. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. That 5K that is just looking at that like this, and you just go and have some 1, 2, 3 Friday thing.
It's Friday.
And then boom, can be something else in the next few years if you're just patient with it. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
It's definitely now 9. We want to close. And first of all, to also apologize, we started a bit 10-15 minutes late, but we'll be having this kind of conversations more. So Njeri, we hope that you can come here to tell us good things and good news and what we'll be checking, by the way. You know, I'll be personally checking and telling people because I feel this is something I can do as well. And thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks a lot.
Alrighty. So it's bye-bye for now. See you, BizTalks.